Dr. Mina Joapelli, and I'm a board-certified pediatric dermatologist in Houston, Texas at Bluebird Dermatology. I have to say that my favorite group to speak to other than kids is pediatricians because those are my roots. I trained in pediatrics, dermatology, and pediatric dermatology. And the field of pediatric dermatology began as pediatricians specializing in the treatment of skin disease. That's how all the legends of pediatric dermatology, my mentors, did it, and that's how I did it. And when people ask me if I ever regret doing an extra 3 years of peds residency, I say absolutely not, because that's where I truly learned the heart and art of taking care of patients, empowering them, finding resources for them, advocating for them, and addressing the whole child, not just the skin. And it's how I continue to practice today. But I'm not here to speak to you as a pediatric dermatologist. I'm here as a joyologist. What is a joyologist, you ask? Well, it's a completely made-up word, but the best word that I could come up with to describe someone who's never lost that sense of curiosity, wonder, and awe that I had as a child about the world and everyone and everything in it. Someone who finds joy in even the smallest of things, and someone who's determined to help children never lose that inherent superpower and to help adults rediscover and remember it. I will absolutely cover the science of joy and why it's important to our lives and our practices, but truth be told, you can't teach joy from here. It has to be felt from here. So for the next 45 minutes, I'm going to take you on a journey of the heart, where I will be telling you a lot of stories, my story, your story, the stories of the people we serve, and how it all comes together. As for my disclosures, I did recently start a new endeavor called the Joyful Path, a well-being program that helps kids and families discover their joy. But my biggest disclosure is actually not financial at all. It brings me incredible joy to be able to talk to you about my favorite subject, joy, with all of you. And my hope is that you take away ideas of how you can cultivate more joy in your lives and also spread it. One of my favorite books of all time, The Book of Joy, validated the way that I live my life, and it's also one of my favorite gifts to give. The Book of Joy is conversations between the Dalai Lama and the Archbishop Desmond Tutu, two powerful leaders who come from completely different spiritual backgrounds, yet they're united in their devotion to joy. And this is one of my favorite quotes from the book. Discovering more joy will not, I'm sorry to say, save us from the inevitability of hardship and heartbreak. In fact, we may cry more easily, but we will also laugh more easily. Perhaps we're just more alive. As we discover more joy, we are able to face suffering in a way that ennobles rather than embitters. We have hardship without becoming hard. We have heartbreak without becoming broken. Before I can talk to you about how we can cultivate joy, I have to take you back to a time that I thought I had lost it. April 15, 2016, I was living in Denver at the time. I had just come home from taking my friends' kids to the Children's Museum. Probably enjoyed myself more than they did, to be honest. And about 4:30 p.m., I get a call from my sister-in-law. Her voice wobbly on the other end, she says, "You need to come home. Your mom just had a ruptured brain aneurysm, and she might not make it." I fell to my knees. And just like that, in one fell swoop, the person that people had dubbed Dr. Joy ceased to exist. I don't know what else she said after that because I was in survival mode. And within 15 minutes, I had packed a bag and was out the door on my way to the airport with one mission and one mission alone: to get to my mom, to hold her hand and give her strength in the same way that she had done for me my whole life. I made it to my mother, and she survived. But in the aftermath of the 72 days that she was in the hospital, I had a rude awakening. The medicine that I had trained in saved her life, but it didn't teach her how to live and thrive in this new state of being where she couldn't physically, emotionally, and mentally do the things that she used to be able to do. The things that brought her joy: taking care of her grandchildren, cooking and delighting the hearts and bellies of her family and friends with her food. And for those of us who knew and loved her, it was devastating that she couldn't express emotions in the same way, that everything was slowed and stunted. So when I returned to work, I too was a different person. For a while, I would just go through the motions of seeing my patients, forcing smiles, something that always came so easy for me that random strangers at gas stations and coffee shops and elevators and grocery stores would go out of their way to tell me that it brightened their day. That a standardized patient at the beginning of my medical career told me, "Don't ever lose that disarming smile. It brings patients comfort at a time they need it the most." Some people have an RBF. I have an RSF, resting smiling face. But I didn't have it anymore. Until one day, a retired professor who would volunteer to teach students every summer, uh, came back and realized that something was very different. And bless his heart, he's a blunt guy from New Jersey. He looked around the room and said, "Man, what happened here? It's like someone died." Not gonna lie, it felt like a slap in the face. I was taken aback, but I didn't say anything. I went to go see a patient and someone had filled him in the meantime, and he stopped me in the hallway and profusely apologized.